What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another episode of G.W.R. Gonzo'S Wrestling Room. Joined today by Tony Gonzalez. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right. Well, you want to jump? Well, before we talk about this week's shows, you want to talk about something about the pay per view last
Yeah,
Sunday?
yeah, we can do that first. Yeah, AEW Revolution was this past Sunday,
It,
and
it, it's pretty good.
it was a good pay per view. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Um, I'm just going over the main things that I really liked. Uh, One of the things was I think they're finally going to push Wardlow. Wardlow won the ladder match, and for the future AEW TNT title match, he'll have now it'll be against Scorpion Sky, which we'll go over that when we go to the Wednesday night AEW. But he won that. It was a pretty good match. Ladder match was. I liked it quite a bit. I think they're finally going to go big with him. Also, on the show, he we'll get into that, but he had some development with MJF between them two. So we'll go over that when I get to that match with CM Punk and MJF. But I think they're going to push Wardlow, and I thought it was a real good match. What do you think of that match? Or did
I,
you get to see that one?
I didn't get to see that match. That's when I was just getting home and had some trouble getting it on.
Okay. Uh, the next match was Adam Page and Adam Cole. That was the main event. I thought it was a pretty solid match. Me and you talked before. Awful lot of super kicks for me. But I think they're finally moving the right direction with Adam Page. Crowd seems behind him pretty good. It was a good match. Adam Cole can go. I mean, we've seen him go a lot in NXT. So, I mean, I thought it was solid. And it don't look like it's over with. It looks like they're going to maybe feud some more. But I thought it was a real solid match. Now, the next two matches were my
Yeah,
favorites on.
I thought that match was real good. Other than the same, like you said, the super kicks. I was actually going to go back and watch it and count how many super kicks there was, but I bet you there was close to 20 super kicks in that match.
At least. Yeah, there was a lot. The next two matches were my favorites. Moxley and Brian Danielson was an outstanding match. I mean, it was really good. I liked the way where they did kind of the odd pin, Danielson losing the match in kind of a weird way, but I liked the way it was set up. The fact that it kept kind of fighting, and then big surprise that William Regal came out and stopped them two from fighting and got them guys to shake hands, and it looks like that he's going to be their manager in the storyline right now moving forward. So I really like that because I love William Regal. I think he's really underrated in the history of wrestling. Maybe one of the most underrated guys in the history of wrestling, and one of the best teachers of wrestling that there is. So I really liked him being on there, and I like the fact that they're doing Danielson and Moxley, and we'll see where that takes. But I thought it was a real good match.
Oh yeah, I really liked the match, and I loved Regal coming out. And I mean, just imagine the things they'll be able to do with the mind. You put the three minds of Danielson, Moxley, and Regal together.
Yeah,
And I
and
mean,
plus he really worked a lot with Danielson in the past,
yeah,
uh, and he worked with Moxley too. So
since they have a
he,
past relationship too, so they.
yeah,
I think it's going to be real. I think if they do it right, it's going to be real good. Real could be a real big thing putting them two together.
yeah, I think so. I think it could be a real main story for them, and it could push AEW in a right direction as far as getting more fans. I'm hoping, but we'll see. The match of the night for me was the CM Punk MJF. Really enjoyed the dog collar match. I thought the psychology was good. I thought the match was really good. I thought it did some things for other people too, like Wardlow coming out at the end and kind of turning on MJF. It just helped skyrocket him too, and it's going to start a feud more likely between Wardlow and MJF. So I think that's really good things too. The only thing and it was a small thing that I didn't think they needed to do in the dog collar match. I didn't see why they needed to put thumbtacks out. I mean, that dog collar match is probably one of the most brutal matches you can have. Uh, so I didn't think that they really needed it to do that, but they decided to do it. And their fans love it, so I mean, you can't argue it. I mean, the fans loved it. So, but I thought it was a really good match.
Yeah, I thought that was a real good match. That was my favorite match on the pay per view. Uh, I really liked the Moxley and Danielson match as well, but the dog collar match I thought, oh no, just I guess a lot of them stipulation matches like that, they're going usually they are a little better, but I thought they done good. Like you said, the tax it wouldn't bother me if they didn't use them, but it didn't bother me that much that they did. But no, I really enjoyed that match. I thought that was the match with best match on the pay per view.
Yeah, I did too. And I mean, like I said, good storytelling. The storytelling with Moxley and Danielson, the storytelling with CM Punk and MJF, even a little bit with a ladder. I mean, ladder match is crash and burn, but there's stories coming out of that too. The Adam Page, I think, told some stories. So anytime that I think if AEW continues to tell stories, I think they can grow. Um, and I think it's easier on a pay per view to for them to do those matches where they tell stories and then they have a lot of the crash and burn matches too. So their immediate fan base stays happy because a lot of them want the more crash and burn. Uh, it's a little harder on TV to 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 mix it in. So I think they struggle with that. But I thought it was a good pay. Now I still don't think it was their best pay per view. That one a couple of few months ago, maybe 6 months ago, whatever. I can't remember which one it was. I thought it was the best one, but I did think this was a good pay per view though.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So, well, you ready to get into the week shows?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. First of all was Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Started right off the bat with it might have been the match of the week. It was really good. If anybody haven't seen it, it was a three-way match between RK-Bro, Alpha Academy, and Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. And it had a big match feel. It was really well put together. Uh, there was a move where, and of course, Orton's the master of doing that RKO from different directions and things. There was a segment there uh, where the Alpha Academy guy, not Otis, the other one. I'm missing his name right now. Uh,
Oh man, Gable, wasn't
the
it?
former Gable, yeah, Gable went to do a backflip as a finisher, and out of nowhere, Orton hit an RKO on him, and
Yeah,
it was a thing of beauty. It was a thing of beauty, and it was just a fantastic match. RK Bro won, which some people were surprised because they expected Orton and
Riddle.
Riddle to split up. They still may do it at WrestleMania, maybe do later down the road,
I'll tell you what,
but it was
they're over with the crowd.
yeah, and that may be
Or
one reason they may be selling a lot of merch right
I was
now.
gonna say the crowd loves that RK Bro. They were going crazy when they won that match.
They did. Right. Crowd went crazy all night, especially for that match. So it may have been a match of the week. I mean, on any of the regular shows, um, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Moving on from there, had Finn Balor and Austin Theory. It was a real solid match. I think it's going to end up probably Damian Priest came out and attacked Balor. I think we're going to see Balor and Priest probably at WrestleMania, which I think is a real quality match. And they're building that up into a feud. You may even see if they continue to build maybe some kind of stipulation match too. I mean, I don't know. They still got a few weeks before WrestleMania, 2 or 3 weeks. So I think that's a great match for WrestleMania, and it just helped build Priest and Finn Balor is a big favorite of the fans. So I think it'll go a lot, and it didn't hurt Austin Theory either. I mean, the more that Austin Theory can get in the ring with people like that, he didn't lose the match because I think he may have lost because of disqualification, but that's no big deal. Uh, yeah, it really it was a good thing for all three wrestlers that match was. So I enjoyed it. I don't know where they're going, but they had Omos come out and he destroyed Apollo Crews. So now they did the big Apollo Crews has got the bodyguard that's about 7 foot tall. So uh, maybe they're going to maybe have Omos and him go at it at WrestleMania or something. I don't know, uh, but they're definitely Omos is just killing everybody. I mean, I think he's a big commodity. I think he's one of the reasons they got rid of Braun Strowman. I mean, did they need to pay Braun Strowman millions of a year when they got a young guy like Omos who's probably making a third of what he was making? and he could be the killer giant. So I think that was one of the reasons they got rid of Strowman. There could have been others.
Right.
It could have been others too. I mean, you never know backstage and stuff, but almost I'm interested to see where they're going with that. The last thing, the big thing everybody's talking about is Kevin Owens come out. Since him and Rollins lost that match, he has no match for WrestleMania. So he came out and challenged Stone Cold Steve Austin to come meet him at WrestleMania and be a part of his Kevin Owens show. So crowd went crazy. Don't know where they're going with this for sure. I know Steve Austin the following day accepted, said he didn't care if it was a match, a confrontation, beat the hell out of him, a TV segment. He didn't care what it was, but he would be there, and he's going to open up a can of whoop ass. So I don't know where they're going with this. Some people think it's going to be a stunner. I've read some stuff that they don't think it may not be a match, but they think it'll be maybe a 3 or 4 minute confrontation where there's definitely both guys are hitting some stuff. They don't think Steve Austin would take a stunner, it'd be too risky, but you would probably see it end up with Austin giving Owens a stunner. Some people think it could end up being a match. There's people who have theory maybe they have a confrontation on Saturday and then make a match between the two for Sunday. That's a possibility. I've read rumors of maybe Cody Rhodes maybe signing with him and maybe put Cody Rhodes into that match with Owens because he's got ties to Texas and stuff, and they could tie him into Austin some ways because Austin had a relationship with Dusty Rhodes, so that's a possibility. And I'd asked you about this too because the question was brought up on Busted Open. Which is bigger if you had a full-fledged match with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin, or the match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns? Which is the bigger match as far as selling tickets and everything, with fans being excited?
I've thought about it more. I'm going to say Stone Cold and Owens just because you're going to get a lot of fans that don't watch wrestling all the time. You're going to get some of the casual fans just because everybody knows Stone Cold, whether you were a wrestling fan or not. Or with Roman Reigns, he's not that he's a real newer guy, but he's kind of, he's kind of younger. Now Lesnar, a lot of people's going to know, but Austin, I just think I think he's still real popular like he was before. I think he's still going to be a real big draw.
That's the thing. I mean, the job isn't as good as it is back in the day, but most people know who that the difference is you get this where I mean, everybody is everybody. Very people don't know who's man more prolonged and throwing a stunner. People are part of the group, and there's people who hadn't bought wrestling yet, but will be stick with but I think it's a big addition. I mean, I think the fact it's
he's having some technical difficulties. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You started going robotic again, and then you finally disappeared. Are you?
Oh.
You have your phone connected to the Wi-Fi?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. We might want to see if that, because you can connect to your Wi-Fi, it might run better.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, Raw was real good this week, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't my show of the week, but I
really liked the Edge promo.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too. The Edge promo was good. I think going bad is, he's been back for a little while, little over a year, and I think it was time to do that. So they need a good bad guy on Raw.
Another thing I thought it was cool about Braunbrecker debuting on Raw that
Yeah,
night.
I did too. And when we get into NXT, I'll go a little bit. I just read something about Breaker before we came on, so we'll go into that when we talk about NXT. You
Okay.
ready to move on?
Sure.
Okay, next is NXT. It opened the show with a great match. I really enjoyed it. It was a little bit different. It was a last man standing match, which we've seen a lot of last man standing matches. But I thought this was booked really well. Waller is super over with NXT, and LA Knight is, I think, maybe the most over guy NXT's got as far as the crowd goes. They really love him. So it was a real good match. I don't know if things are over. I think there's still maybe one more match with these guys, probably coming up there at WrestleMania weekend when they do that show on Saturday at noon. I forget what they're calling it now, but it's kind of like their takeover special, but they don't call it that anymore.
Stand and Deliver or something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be Stand and Deliver. So yeah, they're doing real well with that. There was a real good ladies tag match on the show. Kaylee Ray and Lo Shirai against Caden Carter and Casey Casanero. I just wish Caden Carter and Casey Casanero was a little bigger, not so small, because they work so good together. They may be the best tag team in all of WWE of all the people they've got. I mean, the moves that they come up with, they're hungry, they work hard. They lost a match, but I wish they would push these guys in the tag team division. I'm talking about on Raw and SmackDown. That's how good these two are. I just worry because of their size being smaller that they're never going to get that push. But that Kaylee Ray's excellent in the ring. She came over from NXT UK, was champion forever over there for a couple years. She's outstanding. And of course, Lo Shirai, all four of them women could be on the main roster. So
Yeah.
that's the thing you may see after, if WWE's done what they've done in the past. Sometime after WrestleMania, you may see some people get released, and you may see a lot of new people move up. So it would be interesting. Another thing on the show was a tag match. It was supposed to be Imperium and the Creed brothers, but the Creed brothers got attacked outside of the arena. Don't know who did it or anything. So they give MSK the title match. It was going pretty well. It was a pretty good match. And then the Creed brothers come out and destroyed everybody.
Yeah. Hold on. You're breaking up again. Having some he's having some
Technical problem.
There you go. Now you're back.
But Imperium is one of the best tag teams, I think, WWE and all WWE. So all three of them teams, I think, got tremendous futures. I'm sure there's going to be some type of match there on that Stand and Deliver. So I think they're building for a big show. I hope a lot of people attend it and watch it. So the next big thing was the Dolph Ziggler, Braunbrecker, and Ciampa title match. I think WWE swerved a lot of people, because I thought people thought that Braunbrecker was going to win this match. Maybe give Ciampa a little bit of a chance, to win it. But I don't think anybody thought Dolph Ziggler was going to win the title, and he come out and win the title. I thought they booked the match great. I thought the way they did it was.
Oh yeah, it was good.
It could have been match of the week too. That or the match with Orton and them on Raw. But it was a good match. And but going back to about Breaker, what I read was that Breaker is now officially, they're saying the Wrestling Observer report, which that one dude who loves AEW, he's that I can't think of his name right now.
Metzler.
He's reporting that Braunbrecker is now officially member of Monday Night Raw. So where does that leave things? I don't know. So does Breaker win the NXT title back? If he's going to be on Raw all the time, I don't think so. So I don't know. Do you have Ziggler hold the title for a while? Do you maybe move Carmelo Hayes into that number one spot? I could see that, because I think he's ready to go to the next level. I think some people say Ciampa's going up to Monday Night Raw full time. So it's interesting to see where they're going to go with that. I think that Stand and Deliver show is going to be. I mean, it could steal the weekend. I mean, I think it's going to be a good show. So, what do you think? I think it's a little soon to move Breaker up. What do you think?
I think it's a little soon, but I understand why they're doing it because I think this is so popular and they see his potential. But yeah, I mean, I think it wouldn't hurt him to stay down at NXT a little bit longer.
He's excellent in the ring. I mean, as far as being in the ring and stuff.
Yeah.
He knows from his uncle. So, I mean, see,
You're breaking up again.
Okay.
Now you're good.
I don't see why not leave him down there for another 3 or 4 months, and then maybe around SummerSlam time, get him into a big feud, especially if you plan on him being in the main event of Mania next year. So that's just my opinion. I mean, but I hope to do real good with him. I think he deserves it. I think he could be a huge star.
Do you think they might do something and put him on the WrestleMania card somehow this year?
I think it's possible. Rollins don't have a match, and Rollins was the huge star from NXT. Maybe he comes out and challenges him or something. I mean, who knows what they're going to do with Rollins? I hope Cody Rhodes, if he's going to sign with WWE, I hope he signs and I hope he has a match with Rollins.
That'd be awesome.
I think that just would help make the show great. So I mean, and it wouldn't hurt Rollins to lose to Rhodes. It wouldn't be a huge loss if it's a great match for Rhodes to lose to Rollins. So I think it's a win-win there. So we'll see what happens. But Raw was, don't get me wrong.
What do you think's going to happen in this McAfee and Theory match?
I would say Theory's going to win, and I would say there'll be more than one match. I think
there's going to be some kind of interference.
I think McMahon's going to get involved, going to cause. I think as a bigger play. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's a great thing for McAfee just to be in a WrestleMania moment, be in a match. I don't think he needs to win the match. I think Theory needs to win the match.
Yeah.
Because, so I expect Theory to probably win. I expect McMahon to get involved, and you may see a feud for. I'd say you may see another match on WrestleMania Backlash. You may see a feud that lasts till SummerSlam. I mean, who knows? The only thing is the fact that he's on SmackDown and not on Raw. Well, I don't know.
I'll tell you what. He's good in the ring. It's going to be a good match. I watched that video you were talking about. It was a cool video.
Oh, it was great. They need to show that on SmackDown. I think it would help a lot of people understand McAfee even more. Throw something out there and see what you think about that.
And this is the first time McAfee's going to be in front of a crowd in the ring, because the other times was during the pandemic.
That's true. And that was something a lot of people didn't really think about, but that's definitely true. Here's a little thing that I've got to thinking about of the possible wild card and a possible angle that they could do. Corey Graves was a wrestler down in NXT. A lot of people thought he had a bright future. He got injured. He had concussion problem, neck problems, some issues, and thought he would never wrestle again. He's now been cleared to come back. Could you do an angle, since he's on Monday Night Raw, and Austin Theory is going to wrestle McAfee? McAfee's announcer on SmackDown. That Corey Graves is jealous because he's got a WrestleMania match and he don't, and he interferes and causes McAfee to lose. And that could cause a thing, Theory wins, and now you've got a possible thing between McAfee and
I can see that happening. And I know McAfee and Graves they're pretty good friends as well.
And that would give that. I mean, that's a perfect angle and story to do.
Yeah.
But because both of them are announcers, so I think that would be we need to keep an eye on that, because I think it's something that could happen. Honestly, the first 30 minutes of the show was okay on NXT, but I thought the last three matches were dynamite. Dynamite, but I thought it was great. And I think that it was, for me, it was the show of the week. I mean, AEW was a pretty decent show, but I liked Raw better than I did Dynamite this week. I only got to see 3 shows this week, so if you're ready, we can.
AEW this week for me would probably been the third show. I liked NXT and I liked Raw a little bit better than I did AEW. One thing that killed it for me with AEW is their women's division.
Yeah,
The women's matches on there, man,
it can be rough.
It's
Even on the
crazy.
even on the pay-per-view. I
Yeah,
mean, now I guess they're going to have this coming week. They're going to have a match between Thunder Rosa and the champion. I can't think of her name right now.
Baker.
But yeah, Baker. And it's going to be a cage match. I think they're going to try to recapture that where they had that, kind of a Falls Count Anywhere match, death match type thing. I think they're going to try to recapture that. But their title match on that pay-per-view was one of the weaker matches.
Well,
It just
I was watching it. I was watching it with a group of guys from another sports network, but we was watching it all together. And I told them guys while that match, the women's match was going on. I was like, the independent show that I was live streaming earlier. I watched a woman on there, but better than these women.
And
Or
I
women,
know
I should
Thunder
say.
Rosa.
I'm telling you, Alice Crowley, she impressed the hell
Well,
out of me in that match, which we'll talk about. But
we'll talk about that
I know she's
show
been. I know she's been
now.
on AEW Dark or something before. But how she don't have a contract and some of these other women do, it's crazy.
Don't make sense. I agree with you. Now I do know Thunder Rosa. I've seen quite a few of her matches. She can go. She's one that I would love seeing go to WWE. I don't think she ever would because she's got her own wrestling promotion in Texas. She likes to do a lot of outside things that WWE probably wouldn't allow her to do. So I understand, her dream's a little bit different. So I don't ever see her going there. Maybe later in her career, maybe. I think she's that good. Me personally, I think Baker is good on mic. There, I thought at one point she was getting a little better in the ring. Her last few matches I have not found very good. I don't know what's going on. I've seen 2 matches recently, a tag match that she was involved in with Thunder Rosa. I thought it was horrible. I don't know what happened. Had 4 really good women in that match, and it was terrible. I mean, terrible. And then the match on pay-per-view, I didn't think was very strong. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if they're not getting enough work outside the, when other match time, enough work together in the ring. I don't know, but I think they're struggling. So I don't know. But NXT was the show of the week for me. I'm ready to go into AEW if you are.
Yeah.
Okay. This show was really fast paced, and I think probably too fast paced. You had Jericho and Jake Hager turned on Ortiz and Santana and Kingston, and now has a new group. Did you catch the name of his new group?
No.
It features Daniel Garcia and 2.0, which Daniel Garcia is pretty good in the ring. 2.0 is okay. Moving them into a big faction, I really don't get. I don't think they're that over with the crowd. We'll see if Jericho can help that. But the new name of Jericho's group is the Jericho Appreciation Society. That's the new name of the group. I think they're trying to elevate these guys, and I guess they're hoping Jericho will do that. The segment fell flat for me. We'll see. The segment I really did like. The match I didn't care for, but I understand why they did it. Had Moxley and Daniel squash two guys that's been around the wrestling scene for quite a while. A guy named J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry. They destroyed them, and William Regal was the manager. Then Regal did a promo, and he's even apologized because he went pretty long on the promo. I don't know if you got to see the promo,
Yeah, I
but
saw it.
it was outstanding. The fact that he got choked up a little bit talking to I thought was real. That's one thing that I do like about AEW. They let these guys be a little bit more real sometimes, and speak as the real selves. Where where WWE doesn't do that as much. So that's one thing I like about AEW. But I love Regal. He's one of my favorites. And again, I think he meant everything he said about Daniel Bryan being the best in the world. I think he believes that. I believe that too. The fact that I think William Regal had talent like that, and Regal's had a lot of issues with alcohol and things that about ruined his life, and a lot of people don't know that. And that's one reason why he's appreciative of the WWE. WWE stuck with him and helped him. I mean, he had nothing when he went to the WWE, and he I know very appreciative of all the years he spent in WWE. So I think he's a class guy, and I hope big things for Regal. I think Regal, if they would listen to him, could really help that company.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Could make a huge difference for that company if they utilize him right. Adam Page wrestled Dante Martin AEW World Title match. I know that a lot of people was online saying they didn't understand why Martin had that match. Of course, they're going to say he's 7-1. Well, but the problem with his one loss was it was a qualifier for the TNT championship match, which he lost for that ladder match, which he lost. So the last match he was in, he lost, and then you put him in a title match against Adam Page. He's a very talented guy. His brother's real talented. They're a great tag team. Got a bright future. It was an okay match. I just don't think that a lot of people cared about it. I mean, I think that's part of the problem with some of the matches they put on. I mean, are they good in the ring? Yeah, but there's no story. It's just matches. They've got to get better at telling stories. Not only did you have Jericho turning on his guys on the same show, you had Andrade, Private Party, Butcher, and Blade turn on Matt Hardy. So you got two turns in the show. And then Jeff Hardy, well, first Sting and help me out, Chris. I'm terrible with names.
Darby Allin.
Sting and Darby Allin came out to walk to the ring to help Matt Hardy as five guys beat on him. Well, then they were getting beat on too, and then Jeff Hardy comes out and they're playing the original Hardy's music, and he takes time to dance to the song before he comes out and helps. But it's good to see. I mean, he wasn't happy in WWE. I don't think that WWE was using him correctly towards the end, especially. So I'm glad Jeff's, where he wants to be. And I think it could have been a bigger deal if it was done a better way.
I was gonna say they could.
Why do you do two turns and so?
Yeah, the way he came out too, dude, that could have been done a lot better. Out there dancing.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of lackluster.
I'll tell you a part of the show I really liked.
I thought it could have been.
One of the parts I did really like on AEW was Wardlow promo. That promo he did.
Yeah,
I thought that was.
I thought he did real well for a guy that's never really spoke on AEW. So yeah, I thought it was good promo. I think he could be a huge star for them, and hopefully they use him in the right direction. It's going to be interesting to see, though. Right now you've just seen him in a lot of squash matches. You've seen him in a cage match against Cody Rhodes a year and a half ago. So can you put him in a ring with a Daniel Bryan? Can he go for 20, 25? I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the thing. We'll have to see. But I think he's got a bright future, a good future. So the other thing, before we go to the main event, FTR, the tag team, fired Tully Blanchard as the manager. Going to bring somebody. The rumor is they're going to bring Bret the Hitman Hart to be the manager. I don't know the connection of Bret the Hitman Hart. A lot of fans want him to bring Jim Cornette because Jim Cornette loves FTR, but I don't know if Jim Cornette would ever do that. I think it would be
crazy. That crazy.
Yeah, but I know he loves FTR. He thinks FTR is the best tag team in the world, and he loves them. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, see where that goes. At the world, not the World Championship, but the the TNT, AEW TNT title up for grabs. Sammy Guevara put it up against Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky hadn't had a match on AEW regular TV, and I don't know how long. Undefeated on the other shows, the YouTube shows. But Sammy Guevara just won the title back. and now he's lost to Scorpio
Yeah.
Sky. Scorpio Sky won the match. Decent match. It was okay. Like I said, the show was just kind of a fast paced.
I didn't understand why why you take the title off Guevara so quick.
I think the crowd loves G.W.R. I think that he deserves a decent title reign. Let me ask you something, and I hope people don't. I'm not saying Scorpio Sky's not deserving. I'm not saying that. I'm not real familiar. I mean, I never heard of Scorpio Sky before he came to AEW. He'd been around for a lot of years. I'm not saying he's not deserving. I'm not saying he's not a good wrestler. But the fact that a wrestler came out 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and said there wasn't enough people of color in titles and things, and then all of a sudden you got women's TBS champion who's black, and now you have the TNT. Do you think maybe they push these people in the titles? Because I definitely don't think that Jade is ready to be a champion.
I don't either. And
that's just my opinion, you know. And I'm not saying that she's not going to be a huge star, because I think if she's trained properly, she could be a huge star. She's got that it factor. She's not very good in the ring.
It don't make no sense to me, because Guevara, he was with you when it started, and look how much better he's gotten from when they first started this TV show to now. And you've used him all this time. It don't make no sense to take the title off him like that. I'd have kept the title on him for longer.
My thing is too, Scorpio Sky. I'm not saying he's not deserving, and I'm not saying he's not good in the ring, but there was no story there.
Yeah.
I mean, build a story up and build a feud and get him the belt the right way is my only thing. I'm not saying
not just one match and boom,
no, done. Yeah, I really didn't understand it. But I hope great things for Scorpio Sky again. I'm not saying he's not deserving. I just didn't really understand the booking, how they got him.
I'll be honest. I really didn't care for AEW this week.
It was my third show, and like I said, Raw I thought was better, and I definitely, in my opinion, NXT I thought was the best show this week. But it's one thing I have to say. One thing I will say, Raw give me a lot of things. You know what's going to happen. NXT's definitely giving me a lot of things. What's going to happen, and even with AEW, I'm interested in what they're going to do with Jericho. I mean, they give me that. Maybe more the setup show. Make kind of a. We had a big pay-per-view. Let's not worry about the wrestling so much this week. Let's worry about setting things up, because I mean, you got Wardlow coming into a new thing. You got Moxley and Daniel Bryan and a new thing. So it's kind of maybe a reset show. So I mean, it wasn't a bad show, but
you think Steve Austin will be on Raw this Monday?
I don't know. It's in Jacksonville, I think, if I remember right. Jacksonville, Florida. It's a possibility. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what.
I think he'll be on one. There's like 3 more Raws before WrestleMania. I think he'll make an appearance on one of them.
I hope so. I hope he has a match. I think that the fans will love it. But some people think that Stone Cold won't have a regular match because he can't be the Stone Cold of old. And I understand that to a degree, but I think he can give enough if it's done right, that to the fans that it could be the match of the night. So that's my opinion. I mean, we've seen it for ourselves in independent wrestling with Rock and Roll Express. Can they do what they did 30 years ago? No, they don't have to. They're so revered, so loved. They come out there, they can still put on a show that people will be talking about. Me and you are going to be talking about the Rock and Roll Express show, the fact that we got to meet him, and the fact that we got to see the show for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
And they wasn't what they were 30 years ago. Yeah. So.
And when that glass shatters, that 100,000 people in that arena are going to go fucking crazy. It's going to be one of the loudest pops that you ever hear. And even if you don't have a great match, that moment there is going to.
Yeah.
I mean, fans are going to go nuts as soon as they see him.
Well, people got to understand all they have to do is brawl for 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And him hit a stunner. And
throw him some beers and let him get up there, and people
or
love it.
or if you want to push Kevin Owens as a big heel, have somebody come in and cheat and have Owens beat him.
Yeah.
It don't hurt Austin to lose.
No.
So I mean, it'll be interesting. I think I'm really excited about this WrestleMania this year. I know some people think that there's too many matches that but there's still 4, 5, 6 matches to be named. I think there's going to be plenty of good wrestling matches. I think they're trying to give something to everybody. They're trying to sell tickets and get views from everybody, not just diehards. They're trying to sell 200,000 tickets. They're trying to get millions of people to watch it on Peacock. I think that's what you got to do. I mean, perfect example. AEW just did that show at pay-per-view. They had maybe 170,000 buys on pay-per-view, which is good. Probably $1 million for them. I mean, that's good. This is WrestleMania. They're wanting a lot huger numbers. You're not.
Yeah.
They sold at that show. It was sold out. There was only 8,000 people there. 8,500, 9,000 people for the show. WWE's trying to sell 100,000 tickets for 2 nights. It can't be just a typical show. That's what people don't understand. People want to put WWE down. If AEW put on a show, just like they just put on, how many tickets do you think they could fill at Dallas Stadium?
Oh,
With
yeah.
the show? 30,000, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, it's 2 different leagues. I'm not putting AEW down. I mean, they've only been around for 3 years, and they're building, and they're getting better. Is it completely out my cup of tea? Not completely, no. But I'm not their target audience. I'm 59 years old. They're targeting 18 to 39, 49, whatever they're targeting. But so I mean, I think they're doing well. I think they could get more storytelling. I think they get better. But I agree with a lot of the professional wrestlers who worry for these young guys about the spots that they're doing, that they're not going to be around in 10 years. I worry about that. I wish they'd do more storytelling and do things more the right way. But I mean, it's two different levels. AEW is a good thing. Impact Wrestling is a great thing. The industry needs it, but WWE is on a total different level.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. People need to come to reality and realize there's just 2 different levels.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
WWE's like the NFL is in football. I mean, they're so big that I don't think any other company's going to ever be able to come in and take them over because they're already so big.
Well, I'm not trying to be mean, but let's talk about the NCAA basketball tournament. Okay, there's other levels of NCAA basketball. You got the main division, you got other divisions. Them divisions, they don't even get on TV. I mean,
Yep.
it's same way in college football. I mean, you see some of the playoffs of the Division Ones and the other divisions, but you're not in the top division. WWE is a top division. Don't get me wrong, AEW is doing great, doing fantastic for a 3-year-old company. Who would think that they would be doing what they're doing? They deserve to be. Do I agree with all the decisions? No, but just like, do I agree with all the decisions that Vince McMahon does? No, but dude makes $1 billion a year. You can't argue. AEW is definitely moving in the right direction. Hopefully that they'll be profitable and they do well. But it's not the same level as WWE. It's not.
No, it's
These
not.
people get online and say that the WWE won't be around in 3 years because of AEW. They're delusional.
Yeah.
Well, you ready to move on and talk some independent?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we went to a show this it was Sunday, right? Summit Pro in Greenfield. Yeah. And I'd say let's go ahead and jump into that what we was talking about before you brought up about Alice Crowley. We've seen her now probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, at least 4 times, something like that.
And I think, and as far as the independent women that we've seen, I would say that she's I'm gonna have to say she's the best one we've seen because each show that we've seen her level of ability and what she's shown in the ring and stuff has been pretty consistent. So I definitely think she was right there as the best. But the match that she had this past Sunday um, against Sean Kemp was outstanding. I mean, she stepped up a level, and I mean, I know she's wrestling one of the better independent guys around. I think Sean Kemp's pretty good. Really strong. I mean, one of the better ones we've seen. I mean, I think we've seen a match with him at Summit Pro a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago, that we would put on our list as possible match of the year. And that we've seen in independent wrestling. And then she came out, and I think that match could be up maybe on the list too. It was fantastic, man.
Oh
And,
yeah, they beat the hell out of each other.
and the fact that she's been on AEW Dark and they didn't sign her, I don't understand it. Like we said, we've seen the people AEW has. If that's the people they have, how she's not signed by them. Personally, I don't know. She's not on NXT. She's young. Uh, she's strong. I think that she could do a character because she's kind of got a character anyway. Maybe a little different, but I think she deserves to be signed by a company. I mean, I know, our opinions don't mean nothing. We're just fans, but I think she's really good, and
I
I
do
was
too.
really impressed with that match. Just fantastic. I mean, I really liked it. Really liked the show. I thought it was a real good show. I thought, especially the second half of the show, I really enjoyed. The first half, not the first half was bad. I just thought the second half was another level. Uh, I thought it was a real good show. I was thrilled for them that the fact that they had a bigger crowd that they had last time. Their new promotion. This is only the third show. Should have been the fourth, but one of the shows got snowed out by the bad weather we had a while back. But I think the crowd was about double as it was last time. So that's good for them. And thought it was a solid show and some real good matches on the show. What do
I
you think?
know. I know. We'll get to see Crowley there here in a few weeks. 'Cause I just saw that she's wrestling on that next Summit Pro card,
Yep.
and then
Uh,
also that Kevin Giza and Ace Perry are going to be wrestling each other again,
yeah, that was a
and
real good.
that was a good match.
Yep.
Ended up in a time limit decision, but I guess this time they're giving them five extra minutes, so hopefully
Yep.
they get a winner. But hey, they went at it for
Yeah.
was a maybe 10 minute time limit. I'm not sure what they.
Probably was 15.
I was gonna say probably 15, but they went at it. I really enjoyed that match. I thought Del Patrick's and TJ Kemp put on a good match, good show.
I thought it was really good. It was up there for probably match of the night too. Could have been the fact that some of the moves that Kemp pulled off
Yeah,
that kind of surprised me. Um, I thought it was a real good match. I mean, both of them guys are, which I mean, we know Kemp is good and been around for quite a while, coming back, from some health issues. Uh, but it was really good match. And I haven't seen Patrick in a bad match of the matches we've seen. I mean, he's just I guess he's a real good trainer of wrestlers, and he's a heck of a competitor himself. I mean, really good.
then we also got to see Dalton Love down there versus Aaron Anarchy. They kicked off the
Yep.
show. I thought it
Yep.
was a good match to kick off the show.
Yeah, it was a good match.
It was
Uh,
Dalton's definitely getting better.
Dalton's getting better, and he's going all over, traveling all over the place, wrestling, getting better. Hopefully, he'll get an opportunity somewhere down the line. Try out with AW or Impact or somebody. WWE is going a little bit different direction. They're going more college athletes. I mean, that's their prerogative, and I'm sure it'll probably work out fine for them. But they're going a little bit different direction. I mean, I would love to see them get a tryout at NXT, but right now I just think that they're going a little different direction. Honor, I mean, who knows what direction they're going to go? I mean, I understand Khan owns it now, but we'll see where it's going to go. But MLW, I think there's a lot of talent here in Indiana that deserves opportunities. So I hope that some of these guys get it.
Yep. Yeah, we got there Sunday to set up, and as soon as we walked in, I saw Dalton. He shook my head, and the next thing he did was point out his shirt. He had one of our GWR shirts on
Yeah,
that day.
yeah, yeah. He told me, I'm wearing your shirt. Yeah, I said, yeah, cool. I said, I appreciate it. So
We get
he's
it's
not
pretty
he's a
cool
nice
when we see
guy,
what
and
yeah, pretty cool. We see a lot of these wrestlers wearing the shirts. A lot of different
yeah,
places. Wore 'em
yeah,
on
I think so.
OVW and all starting to be all over the
Yeah,
place.
yeah. We're getting a lot of people out there with them, so that's cool.
And there was quite a few Indiana wrestlers on OVW this week.
Yeah, we need to talk about that and give a shout out to some of them guys. Uh, Hollywood House made his debut there. I believe it was his debut. I think I'm right. He was on the show with Sam Knight, I guess, and that's fantastic for them guys. I think Sam had been on before OVW, I think, but Hollywood House made his debut on there, and that's just great. I mean, dude's a great guy. I think this is just big things to come. I mean, as a manager, if there's any federations out there, well, I don't care if it's WWE, I don't care if it's Impact, NWA, there's another one, or AEW. You got a worker right there, man, that I think could come in and add something to your show. So I think Hollywood's definitely in the right, moving in the right direction. So
Oh yes.
he deserves, it, in my opinion. So, and Sam Knight is really good in the ring. Uh, our friend Mr. Kripke, he was on the show. I think got a big win, I believe, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, got a big win.
So
And also
just great.
Chris Owens,
Yes, Chris Evans was on the show. He was on OVW, so that's
Alpha
great. I
Athlete,
mean,
he was there too. So I mean, there were quite a few Indiana guys down there on Thursday night. Glad to see it. Like
yep,
you said, Hollywood House is a great dude, so I'm glad to see that. And I think he's just gonna keep going because
I do too.
I haven't seen no managers any better than him
No,
around.
but to me, I think a perfect fit for and I think it would just be the start. But I think a perfect fit for him would be. I really think NWA would be a perfect fit for him. I really do. Not that he couldn't be in WWE or NXT or AEW. I see him could be in either one of them places. But I think NWA would be a perfect platform for him to get out there and then be moved to the next level if he want, possibly. I think he deserves. I think he's very talented. I think he's creative. Well, we know he's creative, and yeah, I hope he. But a lot of these other wrestlers too, man. I, I mean, I watch a lot of the NWA, and I see guys that are deserving of that opportunity. I wish that the NWA would uh, take that opportunity and get some of these independent guys. Don't get me wrong, we're just seeing guys in Indiana and stuff. I'm sure there's great guys, Ohio, Texas, everywhere. So I mean, it's tough. I know it's tough. We're biased, but we're out here. We've done
Yeah.
shows the last 6 months, probably 16, 17 shows. We think we meet these guys and even become friends with some of them. We think they're great. So we're biased and probably not fair
And
in
we've
our
seen,
thinking.
but we have seen some out of state guys as well because we've seen some out of state guys that come to Indiana to wrestle. But yeah, I
Well,
mean,
we've seen guys that wrestle for OVW that are from out of state and come here and wrestle. And so, I mean, I think that we've definitely got some people here in Indiana that can go to the next level, wherever that level's at, whether it's Impact. I use Impact and MLW as an NWA because I think it's not okay. Top levels WWE, next level AEW. I think them other three promotions are pretty close.
yeah.
NWA, Impact, and MLW. I think there's a lot of wrestlers that could get to that next level because I know those wrestlers on AEW now that are becoming stars that went to NWA and that was a platform for them and they moved up. So that's what I kind of see with guys like Hollywood House or a bunch of guys here in Indiana. I'm just using them as an example. A bunch of wrestlers and stuff uh, that if they could get on NWA or MLW or Impact, especially MLW or NWA, it could be that platform to move them, to skyrocket them onto other places. Perfect example. I think Highlight Reel would be a perfect fit for the NWA or MLW. I think they're that talented. Uh, I think the fact that they're brothers, twins, I think just adds to the fact. Uh, yeah, I would love to see it. But again, I'm biased, so
Oh yeah,
I'm
I would
huge
love to
fans of
see
those
it too.
guys, and
And
I'm
then
a huge fan of a lot of the guys we've seen.
we got a big got a big show tomorrow. Uh,
Yep.
I'm looking forward to this show. This Wrestling Theology Fellowship. It's
Yep. Great call.
has a good card. By the time you guys listen to this show, uh, it'll already be over because it's on Saturday night. But you'll be able to find it on our YouTube and Twitch channels if
Yep.
you'd like to go back and watch it. We were there a couple months, well, 2 or 3 months ago. It was awesome. It was an awesome show, awesome facility there at that is it Mercy Road?
Yep. Yeah.
Mercy Road Church, real nice facility, and
Fortville.
yeah, in Fortville, Indiana. And I do put and that promoter put on a real good show that night we was there.
Best building we've been in. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful building, facility. Yeah, it put on a great show, family friendly. I can't say enough good things about it. I hope that he gets bigger, bigger crowds. Yeah, check out on the YouTube page the other show that we did.
Blizzard
What was
Brawl.
that? Blizzard Brawl, and you can check out the level of great entertainment was. And was there at that show, and then this next show that we're getting ready to do for them. Check it out on the YouTube page, and hopefully you'll become a fan and go check it out live because I mean the tickets are, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 bucks.
Yeah.
Puts on great entertainment and deserves huger crowds than what he has because he puts out the entertainment and great wrestlers. So I hope people will check that out. We've got some shows though coming up too that you could probably plug. The 19th and the 27th
Yep.
of this month.
March 19th will be in Shelbyville, Indiana for New Era
Yep.
Wrestling. Something what's it called? Something Shenanigans.
Shamrock Shenanigans, maybe.
Might have been it. But they
Yeah.
they got a good they have a good card there. Last time I was there was a good show. I expect this to be another real good show, and that's another place that has a real nice facility. So I mean,
Yeah,
I really
they
enjoyed
build.
myself last time we went. But there's
I
all
didn't get to go.
yeah, but there's also a show in Lafayette, Indiana.
Yep.
BMFX is also that day. So if you're in the Lafayette area, go check them out. They put on a great show as well.
Yeah, we know a lot of the wrestlers. It's going to be on that show. It'll be a fantastic show.
Uh, is there an AWR on the 19th? For some reason, I'm wanting to say
Yes, AWR the 19th.
so. You have the AWR the 19th as well. So I mean, if you're a wrestling fan in Indiana, there's no way you can ever say that there's no wrestling to watch. You can find wrestling almost, especially about every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Well, definitely every Friday.
You can find wrestling somewhere in Indiana. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely every Friday in Indianapolis at WCWO.
Yep. Yeah, they've got a big show coming up. I don't remember the name of it. We'll have to, because it's not till the 20. I think Friday the 25th. I forget the name. We'll have to get the name and plug it, and probably know more about what matches are going to be in that show probably next week. But I guarantee you it's going to be a great show because they're all their shows are good, but they're especially their end of month shows are always fantastic. And $12 to get in, first come first serve on the tickets. Most of them shows sell out. I'm telling you, I can't say enough good things about them. So definitely check out every Friday night WCWO, and end of the month, the 25th of this month. I guarantee it's going to be a great show.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have that. What was it? Taipei Death Match.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. Usually they use the glass. They put on tape and they put glue and then they tape it. But this is going to be with thumbtacks, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a three-way. So I think it's going to be interesting. That's just one of the matches. They'll have some big title matches. It'll be a great show. And then I know the 27th of this month we'll be going back to World Pro Wrestling in Danville. And the last show we went to, especially the second half, was a fantastic show. So can't say enough good things about them. Hopefully Danville's about an hour and a half away from Muncie. So it's not real bad. Hopefully people will go check it out because they deserve bigger crowds than what they're getting. They're a newer promotion. I think this is 7th. I think this will be their 7th show.
7.
So ran
they're
by
putting
great
on
people, and ran a
they're putting on first women's match for their very first women's champion of their women's division with Logan Vittor and
yep,
Charlie Cruel. So that should be
yeah,
interesting
that should
match.
be really good.
And then you got the black.
Crew wrestled a fantastic match.
Yep, against Kayla Cassidy. They're
Yeah, yeah, it was a great match. And then I'm a big fan of Logan Couture. I've got to see her wrestle a couple times. I'm a huge fan of hers. So that should be really good.
and then you
And
got
then
the black.
also, I think
Go ahead.
they got that match with Eric Dillinger and Cole Redrick.
Yes. Yep. That and then
So
who knows what the black market has in store for WPW.
yep, yeah, a new group that just came. That looks like they're going to take over that promotion. Looks that way. So yeah, it should be a great show. I hope they pack the house and have to put out a bunch more chairs because it should be a really good show.
Yep,
That
I'm
second half
looking
of that
forward to that
show
show.
that we seen was really good. I mean, it's about as good as anything we've seen. That second half was. So I really enjoyed it, and a lot of good independent wrestling in Indiana. I wish more people would go. It deserves pretty much every show that we've been to deserves to be a sellout. I mean, uh, deserve to
Yeah.
have bigger crowds because for the money, you can't beat it. I mean, most shows are 10, 12, $15 uh, at the most, in most cases. So I'm telling you, Indiana independent wrestling is definitely putting out great entertainment, and I hope fans. I wish more people would go give it a try. I think if they give it a try, they'd be hooked.
And I know it's a little farther out, but April 9th will be
I
in.
think they would be shocked.
Yeah, they would. But I know it's a little farther out, but April 9th will be in Jeffersonville, Indiana. I'll get the flyer to post it, but it's a benefit for a kid that
Yep,
died on epilepsy. Should be a great show. I know
yep,
Rikishi's going to be there. I know some of the guys that we know from
yep.
other promotions like Jordan James and some of them guys are going to be on the card. So come out and help support that because it's good for a good
Ladies,
cause.
man.
What'd you say?
I think ladies, man, Mike King, right?
Yep.
Ladies, man, uh, Mike King's gonna be there, right?
Yeah, he's going to be there too. It should be a great card. So, like I said, I'll get the flyer and put it on our social media accounts. I can't remember the name of it right now. And also on April 9th, go check out if you're around the Kokomo area. Go check out AACW. Uh, they put on a great show. We got to go to one last year. Not going to be able to make it on the 9th. Hoping to be able to make their next show after that. But they put on a great show, and they had a great crowd there last time we was there. Crowd was into the show. Place was standing room only. I know they have a new venue, and hopefully that venue's a little bit bigger because they could have fit more people in there than what they had at the last show we was at.
Oh, yeah. Kokomo is old school. People like old school wrestling. They need to go check out Kokomo. It's old school and it's really good. So I think people would enjoy it.
You can find out more information about that at AACW Old School Lives on Facebook. And you can find out all kinds of stuff on there. You can find their flyer on our page at Gonzo Sports Room because I share all about any wrestling promotion. If I see a flyer, I share it. So you can find out about most wrestling shows in
Yep.
Indiana if you get on our page. Yeah, we got a lot of shows coming
Yeah.
up because I
Oh,
mean,
definitely. And then also, tell the fans be looking out for that Bearcat Rumble on April 16th.
yep,
Should be some huge announcements coming very soon. I would say next week and a half, should be some big announcements of some big talent, big matches. It's a fundraiser for Muncie Central Wrestling Club. It's for the high school, for the middle school, and the little kids to help have equipment and shoes and all kinds of things that they may need, camps or whatever they use, whatever they need. And they did very well last year for them. I hopefully can do just as good or a lot better this year. And it'll be a great show. So keep your eye out on it. We was at Bearcat Rumble last year as spectators. We'll be there broadcasting this year, but I guarantee you, DCCW will do it right, and it'll be a great show.
Oh yeah, it was a great show last year. They put on a great show last year for that fundraiser. And if you're anybody listening that watches this, if you're a parent, you know how expensive it is for a kid to do sports, and it sucks, but there's some kids that don't have them opportunities for some reason or another. They're not getting all that, but they don't have them opportunities. So stuff like this gives kids like that give an opportunity that they might not get because their parents don't have the money that they need to be able to participate, or not even participate. A lot of it's just for your gear and travel. I mean, that's what costs the most is the travel and stuff like that. Especially for hey, I help with the Bearcat stuff, so I know, especially the program like that only charges like $10 a kid. So any donations they get helps them out a lot.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, they do things right. I mean, they try to make it affordable for the kids. A lot of wrestling clubs won't charge $100, $200, and all you get in that is a wrestling card, and that's it. And some coaching. Bearcat Wrestling Club's doing it for $10, and you get some coaching, and yeah, they do it right, and I have a lot of respect for AJ and his group over there, whoever helps them. But yeah, it's a great program.
For $10, they got coaching and got a T-shirt.
You can't beat that. So yeah, they do it right. And one show that we've got about, because got a couple guys I really like over there, so I want to make sure I mention it. We've got March 19th here in Muncie, IPW. I believe it's called No Luck's Given.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget about that, because Luke Savage and Dalton Love, two guys that we really like a lot, young guys, which we know personally quite well. They'll be probably two of the main event guys on that show. They've really came along, only been in the business probably 13, 14 months, around that, somewhere around that. But they'll be on that show, two of the main players in that promotion. So definitely want to check them out and check out IPW, No Less Given. So that's March 19th here in Muncie at the fairground.
Yep. I think that's
about forgot about that, but I want to make sure I give them a shout out.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's about all the shows that I can think of off the top of my head.
There's one more, but I forget. Was that date? Was it? If I remember, would that be April 30th? April 30th. That's a show.
Oh yeah,
the show that's going to redo. It's two shows.
Yeah, Naptown Pro.
Which that hasn't been officially. Yeah, but that ain't been officially announced yet. But our word was that they were going to reschedule that show for April 30th. We'll let people know once we.
Yeah.
Get it official.
Once we find more details about it.
Yep.
All right. You have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so. I just want people to go out. Hey, watch pro wrestling. Love pro wrestling. So, but definitely check out these independent shows. They deserve it. I'm telling you, you go to a couple shows, you'll be hooked. So, I think they'd really enjoy it. So I hope fans do. And excited about WrestleMania. So I'm waiting to we're having a big party at my house. So we're ready for that.
Yeah. Just about a month away, right? Just a little under a month away.
Yep. April 2nd and April 2nd and 3rd. So
basically 3 weeks. All right. Well, we're gonna get off here, but we will see you guys next week.
Ready to watch SmackDown tonight.
Yeah, they'll be coming on here in just a few hours.